Everybody, Rob Anderson, Clean Power Wash, Salisbury, Maryland. So I had a customer call this morning and cancel a job. It quite frankly is a blessing, but what can we learn from it? It's a $400 roof job, and you know, he basically said because of the various missteps that they don't feel that they could trust me or whatever, which really bothers me there. There's been too much back and forth between me and his wife, me and him, whatever. Not necessarily no fighting or anything like that, but he submitted the original request. I came out, did the estimate, spoke to the wife for the estimate. He showed up, never got out, never spoke with me, was hanging out in his car the whole time. Don't really know what was going on there. He was on the phone, but either way, hold on one second. Sorry, bumpy road. So they called me for the roof. It was a referral, it was a Facebook lead. It was referred by somebody else who I've actually never done work for, which I got to get up with that person anyways, just to give them my side of the story before they hear and think that I'm horrible and never refer me again. But call me for a roof wash. So I went out, looked at the roof. The house is nice and clean, so I priced out the roof. I also priced out the dock. The roof was going to be $400. I priced out the dock at $1,100. The long dock. It was very dirty, and the customer was obviously miffed about the fact that, and he's like, well, why have you pushed this other area? We never asked for a price on that. And I sent a response and explained that anytime we do an estimate, regardless of what we're asked to price out, we will price that out and anything else that we do, that we see while we're there. Again, there's no pressure whatsoever being put towards this customer about it. We're simply just saying, here's some of the other things that we do. Sorry, I'm trying to see if that sign's still there. It's not. And I offered him $150 off or whatever with that. If he was to do the full proposal. So just a standard like 10% deduction is what I usually do. So they accepted, we went back and forth, accepted the $400. Said, hey, we'll do it this Thursday. Sounds good. Wednesday, I get a whole bunch of emails back and forth. Well, is the weather going to be good enough? It looks like it's going to rain. Maybe you should postpone it, this and that. And I said, we'll make that call tomorrow afternoon. When we finish the job before that, I'll let you know, and we'll go from there. And I assumed that I was emailing back and forth with the husband. So yesterday comes around, and truth be told, I had another customer that we booked also, that they're getting some painting work done and needed things done, and they were more on the way and everything. But the weather was also looked like it was going to potentially rain. It was a little breezy, at least where we were on the other side of town. So I called him, left a message. I have the record where I've called him. And then she calls me about a half hour later and says, where are you? Are you coming? And I've updated everything in the customer factor, so it shows that we'd be out there the next day. I've done what needs to be done in order to let this customer know. I did not have his wife's phone number. So she called me and said, well, you could have done a better job communicating. I explained what I'd done. So this morning he calls, and I was right there in the shop. I don't know how I didn't hear the phone ring or whatever, but I said I missed a phone call. Call him right back. The voicemail basically says, we'd like to not move forward with this due to the various missteps and everything going on. He basically said that because he felt that we were pushy with the additional services that we were offering, that they were very off-put by receiving the invoice prior to work being done, and that's just not acceptable to do that. And so, you know, and didn't want me to talk, whatever. So I went, you know, I said, okay, well, let me explain. And I explained, you know, our process again, how we'd gone back and forth. I explained that I'd called him. I had the record. I showed exactly, you know, we called you at 2:24 p.m. when we made that decision once we finished the job before yours. And I do apologize if it didn't send the update email. It should have sent that. But obviously they didn't get it or were unaware of it. He was out of town, so that's why she didn't know anything. But was, again, with the invoice coming in, it's like, sir, as soon as we schedule the job, it automatically generates the invoice. And absolutely, I don't expect you to pay that before we do the work. Some people do pay us before that, but that way, as soon as we're done, it's available and ready to be paid. And I think out of the, I don't know, 200 customers or whatever that we had last year, or whatever it was, I think 3 people commented that they didn't like the fact that the invoice came beforehand. And it wasn't even just a, you know, they weren't mad about it. They just said, you know, we'll wait till the work is completed before paying the invoices. Absolutely. I wouldn't expect you to do anything differently. So that was a $400 roof that we lost. And you know what? It was a relief, other than the fact that I've got somebody today visiting to do some hands-on training, and that was the other reason for pushing the job to today. Now, it's been, the weather report for today was supposed to be that the rain was supposed to head further north. It's been misting all day. It hasn't been raining, but this misting would honestly be less than ideal for us to get this roof done the way that we need to do it. So we were going to have to reschedule it again, and don't have to reschedule it now. So again, anytime you guys lose a job, you know, whatever, it doesn't matter if it's their fault or your fault. Dissect it. What's happened? What do you need to do differently? You know, I need to make sure that the update in customer factor goes through. I should have also manually emailed and responded back to their notification there. You know, had I been able to speak with the husband when he was there, and I was rushed that day. We had to go get our kids from dance, or something was going on, so I needed to rush back home right then, so I didn't have the time to wait for him to get out of the car or whatever. And he'd been parked in his garage for about 10 minutes and still never came and spoke to me. So that was kind of not a good sign, and I think that would have changed a little bit of his perception of me. But I really, those ones really get to me when I lose a job like that. It's not the money. We are also very, very low on bleach right now, so that would have been a challenge to do their roof and been able to get the other 3 jobs that we have scheduled for today. So anyways, have a great day, guys. Again, if you lose a job, figure out why and what you could do in the future to avoid that. Have a great day.